What is a logo? A logo is a mark, symbol, or stylized name that represents an idea, an organization, or a product. This small design becomes a part of the visual identity of a brand or business and promotes quick identification and recognition. Think of popular logos of brands like McDonald's, Google, or Doordarshan. The form and colors are saved in our mind as a representation of our experiences engaging with these companies or their products. Logos are categorized based on the design elements that make them. Let's take a look at the types of logos. A brand mark, also called a pictorial mark, is a small icon, a graphic that represents an object in a very simple manner. This clean and straightforward graphic could point towards the name of the company or what the company does. The simplicity of a brand mark makes it instantly recognizable and easy to remember. The clean-cut form comes in handy when the logo needs to be presented in varied sizes. A brand mark looks timeless and effortless, but the simplicity it demands makes it challenging to include deeper meaning, emotion, wit, and a complete brand image. It's not impossible, but it is difficult. If you're creating a logo for a new company or one that is not yet popular or established, you may want to avoid brand marks. This is because a new company will want to communicate a lot of information through its logo to a large audience. The name of the company, what the company does, and what mood and background the company presents are details that won't fit into a brand mark. If your design is, let's say, a t-shirt for a new clothing brand, it may fall short if this brand expands and starts creating jewelry and home decor. This is yet another designer's note to keep in mind. An abstract logo mark is quite similar to a brand mark in its graphic icon structure. But unlike brand marks that represent real-world objects, an abstract logo is a unique symbol that may not look anything like an object you recognize. An abstract logo design could be inspired by many different objects, functions, or emotions. At the foundation of such a design is a witty idea or smart representation of the company. But what you see as the logo is a simple, elegant, and memorable symbol. Remember, simple is best. If you try to layer your logo with many ideas, cramming in all that the company represents, your design will come out looking garish and confusing. Abstraction isn't easy. It takes several rounds of refining. Make sure your design isn't too vague, too complicated, too detailed, or giving out the wrong message. Once again, keep it simple. A word mark is a logo with the name of the company set in a specific typeface. This font-based logo uses only two design elements, font and color. This combination becomes the identity of the brand. A word mark, or a logo type as it's called, is a great way to highlight the company name. Keep in mind though that this sort of a design doesn't illustrate what the company does or sells. Letter marks, also called monogram logos, are quite similar to word marks. Instead of the company name, letter marks use abbreviations or initials in stylized fonts. Lettermark logos are suitable for companies with a long name. Often, the complete name of the company is placed under the lettermark on websites, merchandise, and in advertising material. This connects the monogram to its name and helps the audience build an association between the two. Works out great, especially for new or small businesses. Remember, a bunch of boring initials may be easily forgotten. Keep in mind, monograms demand style and memorable design. As the name suggests, combination logos are created by combining words and images. Think of it as a blend of word marks, brand marks, or abstract logos and letter marks paired in style. The picture and text are designed to look like one whole. Combination marks are a good way to go if you're working with a new company, since the name and image together can present a clear message. Once the audience has associated the company name with a sign, symbol, or mascot, over time the text and image may be used individually too. The possibilities are endless, but remember to avoid overcrowded, chaotic, confused, or even over-detailed designs. Use the versatile nature of this kind of a logo to your advantage. Make it innovative and simple. Powerful, intricate, unique. Emblem logos present a font inside a symbol. Emblems are decorative, spirited, and classic. They look professional and traditional. These may be the reasons emblem logos are often used by universities and large organizations. Modern versions of emblems have also garnered popularity. Designing an emblem logo is a challenge on many levels. The first challenge is to make this decorative style of logo scalable. Ensure that the meaning, aesthetic, and appeal of the design is not distorted when blown up to a large billboard or when shrunk onto a business card. The other challenge is to control the message it sends. Since an emblem has so much to say and has so much personality, make sure your purpose of creating an emblem logo fits the values of the business. Mascot logos are logos that have an illustrated character as the presenting identity of a brand. Mascots or characters give an ambassador-like voice to a business, making it playful, approachable, influential, and often family-friendly. In more recent times, mascot logos have been styled to go beyond fun and childlike. In the world of sports as well as gaming, mascots and associated logos have become a popular choice. Mascots play the role of bringing the audience together. They give a voice to a brand, and they create a relationship with the audience. What makes a logo good? Is it aesthetic alone? Let's break it down. Here are 5 characteristics of a logo that's doing a great job. Simple and clean. Simplicity is at the foundation of classy design. Delivering a message with a clean graphic that's easy to recognize is every designer's goal. Avoid over-designing though. Some of the biggest and most successful companies have the simplest of logos. Memorable. This may be one tricky part to achieve. When you're balancing aesthetic, meaning, symbolism, and appropriate messaging, your design could become heavy and chaotic. What makes a logo memorable is simplicity in design plus simplicity of thought. Here's a side note. Your choice of colors will go a long way. Think of logos that are etched in our memory thanks to their unique color palette. Relevant and timeless. First, there was minimalist. Then came hand-drawn. And next, vintage made a comeback. Every passing year leaves us with fresh design perspectives and fast-moving trends. As designers, it's a part of our learning process to keep ourselves updated. But it's important to pull away from trends when designing logos. A logo demands design that will remain relevant and aesthetically charged for decades or longer. How do you make a logo timeless? Well, the simplest answer you will find is this: be honest. Be honest in your design, have clarity of purpose, and choose representation that will remain consistent with the values of the company. Ensure that your design is universal and will be relatable around the globe today and 100 years from now. Impactful, meaningful. Ask your design these questions. What are you trying to say? Who is your audience? Are you setting the right tone and style for the product or service? The efficiency of a logo is determined by how well it conveys the intended message, what mood it sets, and what impression it leaves on the audience. Creating an appropriate style that perfectly suits the brand is your goal as the designer. Whether you deliver the meaning in an obvious manner or choose a smart aesthetic idea. Versatile. The flexibility and adaptability of a logo is based on technique, attention to detail, and foresight. Ask yourself, is your logo a vector graphic? Is it a raster logo? Does it have a high enough resolution? Does your logo look good in black and white as well as your chosen colors? Does your logo work with a black and white background as well as a colored background? If not, how would you fit it? Does your logo look good on a large advertisement board and on a small visiting card? Does it look good in print and on screen? Do I know what values to use in RGB and CMYK? Answering these questions, educating yourself, and finding solutions for all foreseeable problems will ensure that your logo design stands strong in every frame of requirement. You will meet a happy client.